Welcome everyone to this episode. Here we are going to show you how to upload a image to social media without losing quality. We'll use this image as an example. As you can see, it's nice and detailed, very sharp. And when we post it to social media, Facebook, Instagram, wherever, this is the way we want it to look. There are a few ways to save an image in Photoshop, but we're going to show you how to save it in such a way that it keeps its quality. So when you do post, you can assure that this is the best possible image. Okay, as you can see here, we're going to see that there's a save as, and then the save copy, and then export as. And you're going to find that export as is the proper way of saving it to keep the most information in the file. We'll click on Save As just so you can see in this way when you save a file, you can save it in various different file types. This will be good if you're working in Photoshop and you want to continue working on your project before the file's actually burnt in. That way you can go back to it, save it as a PSD file, and rework on it later. So this is when you want to use Save As. Now the proper way to save a file is through Export As. Now I'm going to do the JPEG, the PNG file, and the save as file, and you can see the differences. First, we'll start with the JPEG at its highest quality, and you'll see 8.2 megabytes. Now we'll do the PNG file at its highest quality and see what we get.
It's loading!
Now, as you can see here, we're getting 21.8. So this is all the information in this file that's being saved as a PNG. So you're getting better compression quality when it is uploaded to a social media platform. Also here, make sure you select Preserve Details. Now I'm going to go in here and save this file so I can show you later. That way you can look at the differences in the quality of each image that we're going to save it under. Now, with some social media platforms, they got a limit to how big the file size can be. I'm going to show you how to save a file with a smaller file size without losing any quality, at least from a zoomed out image standpoint. Now, in this case, I'm about to describe what works for vertical photos, and then I'll show you what works for horizontal later. Now, for the width, you want to enter in the 960 pixels, and then press Tab and let it populate, and those are the dimensions that you want. Then, of course, the resample, make sure you select it, go to Preserve Details.
Nice, it's working.
As you can see there, the file size went significantly down, but yet they're going to be identical when you look at them. You won't be able to tell them apart, even though the information's less. And this way, you'll also be able to use that picture to post to social media if for some reason your image file size is too large. Now let's do a side-by-side comparison with these images. You'll see the original is test PNG file, and the one I made smaller is the test PNG Lite. Look at the sharpness and high quality of this one, and then we'll switch it over to the light version.
Identical.
Okay, so now you see that the two PNG files are identical. There's really no way of telling them apart unless in the light version, once you zoom in on it, then you'll see it won't be as sharp as the original file, PNG file will be. So now, out of curiosity, I'm sure people want to know, what's the JPEG going to do? The JPEG is another way of doing it. It's just when you upload, you don't get the lossless compression that you get with a PNG file. On the face of it, the file still looks good, but as you can see here, it's 8 times the size of the PNG Lite file. Now we can take a look here at the JPEG file in comparison to the PNG file. You'll see on the face of it, they are identical. There's no question about it. It's the upload to the social media platforms is where you're going to lose the quality using the JPEG file as opposed to the PNG file. You can see here, they're identical on the face of it. Now, as we look through these files close up, you'll see they all are nice and sharp. They look good. The color's nice. Everything's on point the way it should be. We'll flip through these images and you'll see you can't tell from one image to the next without the label being there. Now we're going to make things interesting, and we're going to save a file using Save As, and then you'll clearly see why you don't want to save a file this way when you're going to upload it to any sort of platforms. I'm going to title this one Test Save As. That way you can see the differences in these JPEGs, PNG, and the Save As file. And I think you're going to be surprised. Now here you want to make sure you save it to the largest file size so we can get the best possible quality. That way, for the sake of this video, we can see what this picture can look like at its best. Now, watch how we compare these images and you'll see, even this right away, as you can see the loss in color. Comparing to the other files, it's amazing the difference, so it's clear. Now look at this overall comparison to all three different types of files being saved, and clearly the PNG Lite file is the way to do it.
That settles it.
Now, this goes for horizontal files. The way you want to save it is a little bit different than the way you save vertical files, but it's the exact same principles, and the file sizes will be significantly less. It's just there's going to be one difference in change with the numbers as far as the width in pixels. So the way you want to do the width in pixels here for horizontal is 2048 as opposed to 960 for vertical files. That's the way the rule is always.
Almost there. Almost there.
I'm going to run through this and save this file. That way we can compare it.
Wow, that was fast.
Okay, here we are with the comparison for the larger file. Now this is the original one, and then we're going to switch over to the light version. And you can see they're exactly the same in high quality and color. This is the way you want to upload those as well.
And that's how it's done.
Now let's take a look at what it looks like on Facebook. People say they cannot get their photos to be sharp when they post them to Facebook. Do all the steps I mentioned from Photoshop, save your images to your computer, and then upload to Facebook. And this is the results you'll get every time. Thanks for watching.